So let's start with the first one. We might as well start with the Nvidia Super.
Yeah, I don't really know what I think about that. Like, if it's a Turing refresh, then what what's the point?
I mean, let's look at the video at least.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you it's probably like a Titan sort of thing, except not like the Titan RTX, because the Titan RTX is, to put quite frankly, a disaster.
Titan RTX. Why is it a disaster?
It was just way too expensive. Like it was, what was it, like 3 or 4,000? No, it was $2,200. I want to say, for a card that could actually run ray tracing at decent settings.
Basically, what the 2080 should have been.
Yeah, the 2080, what the 2080 Ti should have been. Like, they shouldn't have had 22 gigs of VRAM. It's, to me, that looks like, it looks shockingly similar to the, what was it? The RTX 2080 reveal, where like the render, and same thing with the GTX line, looks incredibly similar. But honestly, the only way we're going to be able to find out is just waiting to see what happens.
So they're using the hashtag GeForce. So like they're not using RTX or GTX, so we don't know exactly which.
You know what? I'd be willing to bet money on this. I bet you it's a Titan-esque card, but that's related to the 16 series.
You think so?
I'd be willing to bet money on that. Now the validity of that, I'm not.
Are you
100%
willing
sure.
to bet filament on it? Because I'm running out of filament.
Maybe. When do we find out what this is?
We find out exactly what this is on the 27th.
Oh, okay. It's either that, or I'm betting that it's some sort of supercomputer. Because I know AMD is working on the most powerful computer, something like 1 point something exaflops of performance. I bet you Nvidia is not just going to sit on the sideline and let that happen. They're probably going to be like, bet we can do this.
So a lot of people saying it's a Turing refresh. A lot of people are saying that it's new types of memory or new memory speeds.
GDDR6 is fine though.
Yeah, it's fine for what it is. But I don't think it's either one of those. I think it is, like you said, either a supercomputer or something related to the 16 series.
Yeah, because they're definitely not going to release the RTX 2050, because that would literally just make the 1660 Ti completely pointless.
Yeah.
Or should I say the 2050 would just die.
Now that they've enabled ray tracing on GeForce series,
yeah,
you don't really need a 2050 with the dedicated RT core.
Yeah, which, to be fair, so I just got a 1070 and I was playing Battlefield 5 yesterday. RT on low, everything else on medium high, I was getting a somewhat stable 60 FPS. And that's with the 1070.
See, for me though, if you're not running a 2070 or 2080, and there's only 3 games that even support ray tracing.
And it's Battlefield 5, Metro Exodus, and
if you're not counting ray tracing mods on Minecraft, which I actually run.
Yeah.
And that makes Minecraft look amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I don't think this is an RTX thing. I think this is a GTX card, or maybe they're announcing this 1650 Ti, which I doubt, because I don't know why they'd say super. But I bet you it's, like I said, some sort of supercomputer or some Titan-esque thing.
I'm really hoping it's a supercomputer, because I'm like, if they release another card, I'm just gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
because it's just gonna be themselves shitting their pants again because AMD is doing something.
Yeah. Plus, also, real quick about the super thing, I'm starting to think now it's a supercomputer, because looking at the font, because I have the 1070 Founders Edition box literally right next to me, the fonts are not the same.
No, they aren't. They're not even close.
Yeah, so if it's a card, they would use what is it, like Handle Gothic or whatever.
I don't know.
I think it's Handle Gothic, because I used to use that font. But it's...
What kind of fucking font person are you?
I
using different fonts, no shit about fonts. Nobody cares about fonts.
Yeah, Beba
Other than Comic Sans.
Yeah, okay, Comic Sans, if you are not a Comic Sans-orian...
We have Comic Sans on our documents.
But no, I don't think it's some sort of card now that I'm analyzing this deeper, because like I said, it's not the same font at all. Like it's italicized, and it's just not the same font at all.
No,
it's not even the same style.
I'm thinking it's some sort of branding for their supercomputer, or like some sort of branding for a SoC chip.
Yeah, or maybe like some AI deep learning thing or whatever that they're gonna put in
Yeah,
cars. But yeah, I mean, to be honest though, like even if it is a new card, if you're still rocking a 10 series Pascal, if you're rocking above a 1060, you're fine. You don't need to
I
upgrade
have a
to that.
1080, and I don't have a plan on upgrading for a good bit
Yeah,
because I don't need ray tracing. I don't need anything else. Like literally, the only card I would upgrade to is the 2080, and
mhm.
that's not even a 20% improvement. For
Yeah.
me, if I don't see 20% or more of improvement in the card,
Hmm.
I don't even upgrade to it. That's why I
Yeah.
ran a 980 Ti for the longest time.
For me personally, like I've said this a couple times. I feel like I'm just like pushing in people's face, but I just bought a 1070 Founders Edition, and the only reason I didn't buy that because I needed better rasterization performance. I just bought it because I just need more VRAM.
Yeah, you need more VRAM when you're editing because DaVinci Resolve loves VRAM.
Yeah, and so does
So
basically
literally,
everything
like,
else.
how does that 2 gig VRAM help though in DaVinci?
I went through a video that I rendered because I released a video yesterday, and I went back and re-rendered on the 1070. The rendering went a little bit faster, but I'm guessing that's mostly just because it didn't see that big of an improvement because that's mostly CPU bound. But what I did notice is that like actual like workflow smoothness is significantly improved.
Oh yeah, like when you're actually scrubbing through the timeline after you add a color correction, it's
Yeah,
a lot smoother because you have that GPU headroom.
yeah. And not only that, but like I also got this also because frankly I like the Founders Editions, and if I'm gonna buy a Founders Edition card, I want to buy something other than a 1060. But
1060, I don't know why they made a Founders Edition card.
I don't either. It honestly kind of looks
It's
like
a
crap.
smaller PCB.
Yeah, and it looks like crap.
It looks ugly. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a piece of plastic
yeah, exactly. And
because it wasn't worth the money of putting a full metal shroud on.
exactly. But what also
Which, if
helped,
you guys actually realized, that shroud on a Founders Edition GPU actually costs about $50 worth of metal.
yeah, and it also, at least from what I'm guessing, probably helps with cooling ever so slightly.
Not necessarily just because it's metal.
Yeah, but just like it's better than a plastic shroud probably. But
Yeah, it'll absorb a little bit of heat, but it's also gonna, because it absorbs that heat, it's
gonna
also
put it
gonna
back out.
heat soak your card a little bit more.
yeah, I mean, the other reason is that the 1070 also like you don't get that big of a core thing, but you can way overclock the memory. Like I'm running a 700 megahertz overclock on my GDDR5, and that brings it up to 9 gigabits per second, which is probably what helped so significantly. And it's way smoother.
Well, I'm gonna put it up against the 1060 because I'm just curious on the
Oh yeah,
performance. And you got, and I use user benchmark, so you got
Yeah.
a 39% improvement.
yeah,
Not bad.
yeah. Which the 1070, like honestly, I probably shouldn't be using it as like a 1080p 1440p focused card just because it's probably more geared towards 1440p, but it's it's great for what I want to use it for. I was thinking about a 1070 Ti, but then I realized, nah, it's not worth spending the extra money.
So over the 1060, 39%, 1070 Ti, 61%.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like if I went up to that level of power, I'd need to buy a new CPU. So it's just like,
Yeah, because eventually you are going to benchmark that card,
yeah,
or eventually you are going to like suffocate that card.
yeah, because
So that a 16% improvement in the Ti.
yeah, I'm not planning on upgrading my 1070 for at least a year to like a year and a half from now, probably even longer. But if I do upgrade, probably going with like an RTX 2070 at the least, just because GDDR6, like the memory bandwidth for that helps so much with video editing.
I personally do not like the Founders Edition cards of the RTX.
Oh, I love them.
I mean, I like the cooling design of it now, but I just,
Yeah,
I don't know, it looks weird. It's short and fat.
yeah, it's lost its charm from the 10 series cards. I'll give it that. But
Like, if you look at the 1070 versus the 2880 versus the 2070, it's just, I wish the 2070 had the 2080 shroud.
yeah,
Because if you look at it, the 1070 and 1080, their Founder Edition shrouds are literally the exact same shroud.
yeah,
Like, I have a friend with a 2070, but he has a a 1070, but he has a 1080 shroud on it because he bought his card used from someone with a water cooled build, They sold him the block. He sold the block and bought a shroud with that money.
Oh, that's smart.
So like he'd actually like someone wanted to water cool their 1080, so he sold them the water block because they're the same.
Yeah.
And bought the shroud.
Yeah.
I think it was like an even trade or something, but he was like, I don't really care as long as it cools it.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like I'm just bragging at this point, but it's just like I'm happy with my card. I'm not planning an upgrade for a while, but
how much did you get it for?
205. That's what I paid for it.
Not bad.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on this card because I just feel like it's way out of the like performance tier that a lot of people.
250 bucks. You are a budget goddamn channel.
Yeah, I know.
I bought a 1080 for $300, and like that's a pretty good budget. I tell people, I'm like, if you can get your parts used, because you would be able to get better parts.
Yeah, especially $205 for a 1070 is pretty good.
Yeah. Now, would I get to the 1070 Ti? No. I think if you're going to get a 10 series instead of going 1070 Ti, which you can buy those for the same amount as a 1080.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the extra CUDA core.
Yeah, and plus you get GDDR5X with the 1080. Frankly, the 1070 Ti is kind of pointless. It's literally just a 1080 that wasn't performing properly.
It was made to go over Vega because Nvidia shat themselves, because the Vega 56 was in a price point and a performance range that Nvidia did not have a card.
I just felt like it was a stupid. Like
it was.
I get why they were
money
doing
grab.
it, but
it was a money grab.